Hello, my name is Rudy McCormick, and I serve as Executive Director for Arizona MESA and Chair for MESA USA. We're really excited to be connecting with you, MESA staff, MESA advisors, teachers who are helping to bring this program to thousands of youth across the country. And we know that those youth are really excited about this year's National Engineering Design Competition and are eager to hear what some of the changes may be and what they can come to expect of this annual competition. We're excited to be able to share some of those details with you and to talk to you about where the National Engineering Design Competition will be hosted this year in June 2026. You're going to be learning about that throughout this competition. And we're also just excited to re-emphasize this year's competition theme, which is designing for local change. We know that whether a student is coming from California, from the state of Washington, from Oregon, from Arizona, from New Mexico, from Rocky Mountain, Colorado, Rhode Island, or Maryland, that if we look at within our communities, there are areas where we know that youth can make a difference and that they can make this difference by producing a solution that is STEM informed, that takes into account science, technology, engineering, and math, and to bring forward those creative designs and bring them to our national competition. So we're really excited. We're grateful for you taking time out of your schedule to learn about some of these changes. As MESA staff and as MESA teachers, we please ask you to put these in front of your students so that your students are well aware of this year's changes and that helps them to maximize their success as they compete in the NEDC, our National Engineering Design Competition. Again, thank you for all the work that you do. For the students that are watching this video, we just want to encourage you to kind of look into and engage with your local community to see what changes may be needed and then to contribute because we very much see you as change agents and we're excited to see what will result by you taking on this competition and again, the solutions that you're going to bring forward. We wish you the very best in the 2025-2026 academic year, and we look forward to seeing you at this year's National Engineering Design Competition. Go MESA.
Hello, everybody. My name is Bill Pike, and I'm with Arizona Mesa, and I am the co-chair of the Rules Committee for the National Engineering Design Competition.
Hello, I'm Manny Leon. I am the other co-chair for the Rules Committee for the National Competition, and this is your 25-26 MESA USA National Engineering Design Challenge Rules Review.
All right, so what we want to say is that there are no major structural themes in what we shifted. A lot of the information we're going to cover here is the same as it's been the last couple of years, but we did have to make some slight component updates, and then we did make a shift to the theme for this year's challenge.
So speaking of theme, this year our theme is going to be designing for local change. And in general, what we're doing is asking teams to, number one, identify a challenge that's most affecting members of the community, then interview those affected community members to understand and empathize with how they are affected, and then, of course, use human-centered design practices to engineer a solution, and that solution still must have a coding element in the final prototype.
And we do want to emphasize that this is your local community, so look at issues that are affecting your community all around you. And the components are going to be the same. We're still going to have the design proposal, the academic poster, the poster symposium, as well as a technical pitch.
All right, we'll start reviewing briefly the 4 components. So the first is the design proposal. So in general, very similar to the last few years, non-technical overview of the inspiration for the project. So it really should only include that information from the start of the project until your first design idea. So it's all the ideation, not the iteration. So it's the research that you've done. You must use the provided template. You can find that on the NEDC website. It must be submitted as a PDF, and it will be due prior to the competition. As far as any changes that occurred this year, really there was just some wording changes in order to make sure that it matches with the changes to the theme. Other than that, it didn't change.
And then onto the poster, this is really the piece that ties all the other pieces together. So you're giving a high-level overview of what your project is. So you're going to be talking about some of the key points that go into that, some relevant data that you've collected through your testing. What is your prototype? And then what are you going to do in the future for that? So what's the recommendations for this? You are going to also need to submit this before the competition. There is a template on the website that we provided for you, but it must be 36 inches by 48 inches. And again, just wording changes. There isn't any other really major change to the poster.
Okay, our next component is going to be the symposium. So again, not a lot has changed. So you're going to engage the audience in the conversation about the team's design process. It'll start with a verbal abstract about your project, and then you'll use the STAR method to interview technique to answer prompts that are asked by the judges. It will be conducted in a conference-like setting, or open to all event attendees. You can use the poster, the prototype, your design proposal, your design notebook, other materials to support your presentation, and electronic media are permitted. Again, wording changes for the most part is all that happened with this.
And then
Right.
And then the final piece is going to be the technical pitch, where you're going to create a presentation about what your design is, what the functionality of it is, all the mechanical aspects that go into it, and present that to a panel of judges. So questions will not be allowed during this piece, and the students are going to choose how they're going to present it. And it's not limited to an electronic presentation. This is where a lot of the changes have occurred. So we did match the changes to fit the theme, and there's a little bit more emphasis on the user experience. So who is that person who is using your prototype? What is their experience with it? And then some more emphasis on what are those things that are there, because there was a lot of redundancy within the old specifications.
So that really covers everything for the rules for this year. Of course, you want all the details, read the specifications themselves. You can find those on the website, and along with other information, including event information, resources, and you can see projects from past competitions. Additionally, you can visit the MESA USA curriculum site for lessons to support the engineering design process, lessons on time management, on interviewing potential clients, and then tools to help keep your teams on task throughout the year.
And we wish you all the best within what you're doing, and we hope that this has been useful to you.